let's go down to what some of the effects are of the Inflation Reduction Act that's going on in the United States.
Yes.
I love this, guys. This is exactly the type of benefit that I want to see and that I was expecting to see from Joe Biden's economic policy. So after the United States passed the Inflation Reduction Act, one of the pieces of legislation in there was that there would be a $7,500 tax credit to any American who purchases an American-made electric vehicle. If you made if there was an American vehicle, whatever, you could purchase and get reimbursed $7,500. Well, international car dealers are now looking at this tax credit and they want that money. And because of that, Hyundai is opening up its very, very first plant in Elabel, Georgia.
Yep.
This is the first Hyundai manufacturing plant ever opened in the United States.
That's awesome.
It will be able to create 300,000 EVs annually, and it could be expanded to 500,000 if it sees the demand. Hyundai is actually the second most top-selling electric vehicle provider in the United States, right behind Tesla.
Wow.
It's Tesla and then Hyundai.
Interesting.
So the fact that Hyundai is now investing in the U.S. market like this is really, really good to see.
Awesome.
And into addition of making these EVs in the United States through this plant, they're going to be using LG energy to make the batteries, which batteries are also being produced in Georgia. So the whole chain is getting produced in the United States.
That's fantastic.
All of this is because of the Inflation Reduction Act passed by Joe Biden.
Yeah.
None of this would be happening if that didn't happen. Joe Biden's economic policy is bringing investment to the United States in underserved areas, specifically in Georgia. Okay,
Yeah.
we have the Sun Belt. We're now going to have the Battery Belt. Northern Mississippi, Northern Alabama, Northern and Southern Georgia too are going to see more of these battery plants made. And it's just going to change our entire economy.
Yeah.
This plant is expected to get up and running as early as October 24th.
Wow.
And Hyundai is just ramping it up. They want it operated as fast as possible. They're excited to be making cars. And this is just fantastic because this is also coming at a time when the UAW, the United Auto Workers, are expanding their unionization efforts into these international car making companies.
Yep.
We just talked about last week how Volkswagen is facing a union battle in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And now if the UAW starts winning like that, winning all over the place, it's going to spread into these other places fast.
Totally.
And if we can get the dual, avenue here of federal money going into investing in the business and then workers fighting for their rights on the back end,
Yeah.
that money is going to be going back to them, going back to you, and we could just see a whole more equitable economic industrial machine here.
Yeah, this is like the opportunity of a positive economic spiral here is incredible.
Yeah. No, it really is.
Yeah.
And I just want to see more international companies come to the United States because of these tax credits.
Yeah.
And this is something that I hope, this is something for the sake of Europe. I hope they do something similar, guys.
Yeah. Well, this is something that obviously helps our resiliency of our supply chain when, one, we are going to be getting a lot of support and manufacturing from Mexico. But right now, China dominates all of this. China dominates EVs. It dominates batteries. So to be actively and effectively incentivizing these companies to come and put these factories here, I don't want us to shut out Chinese cars and Chinese batteries, but I do want to protect against the possibility that China will try to block their own exports to us to try to squeeze us in the case of something like a war against Taiwan.
Yeah, or even to block ourselves from the eventual Chinese decline.
Yeah.
Right? The Chinese, manufacturing engine will not be present in a decade and a half. It won't be there. It just won't exist.
Yeah.
And so we need to have all the stuff ready to do it ourselves.
Totally.
And this is what Joe Biden's economic policy has been able to do. This is Bidenomics.